Okay, where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Blake? What? Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Aaron.
Aaron is here. Welcome back, everyone, for more SPTV, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. All right, we're here to talk more about Shelly Miscavige. And as my intro played, I found out that for whatever reason, my earbud is not properly connected. And that's going to become a problem later. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Let's talk about Shelly Miscavige. Today, Jenna Miscavige was on, let me share this with you, was on with Annie Elise. Annie has a true crime YouTube channel. I think her show also plays on all the various podcast platforms. And Annie had Jenna in the studio, and they did a long form sit down interview about Jenna's whole story, about Scientology. And at the end of the interview, I want to share with you a clip at the end of the interview where they specifically talked about Jenna's aunt, Shelly Miscavige. Now, for you regular viewers of this channel, you're probably asking yourselves, didn't we already cover this subject last week? And the answer is, yes, we most certainly did. But that is not how the internet works. Just because it gets covered one time on one channel or even 5 times on one channel does not mean anyone has actually heard it or seen it. That's how I approach this subject. Okay, so how do I get my earbud connected so that I can share this with you? Okay, let me try to do this again. See if it works. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put a link to the whole interview in the video description, which I will fix afterwards. But here, I'm going to put it in the comments section in the live chat right here. Okay, good. It sounds like the earbud connected. Okay, what prompted the interview with Jenna, for Annie to reach out to Jenna to schedule the interview? Is Jenna's TikTok completely exploding the moment she created it a couple weeks ago? And one of the videos that she put up on her TikTok, which she has also posted to YouTube, so I'm going to share it to you from YouTube, was about this subject of Jenna's missing aunt, Shelly Miscavige. So in the clip about the discussion between Jenna and Annie about Shelly, Annie makes reference to something. She sort of makes reference to something that has previously been said recently. And this little clip from Jenna that she posted to her TikTok is the source of the information that Annie is referring to, which is why I want to show it to you. Here is Jenna Miscavige's YouTube channel. If you are not yet subscribed to Jenna, you can also find her using the same handle on TikTok. And here is the video that Annie is about to refer to. I'm going to play it for you. It's very short.
My name is Jenna Miscavige, and my uncle is the leader of Scientology. I escaped when I was 22. My aunt, Shelly Miscavige, hasn't been seen by anyone outside of Scientology since 2005. Leah Remini last saw her that year and then reported her missing in 2016. Since then, Where is Shelly has exploded, bringing international attention to Scientology's abuses. Most people see my Aunt Shelly as a trapped, powerless victim. I see her differently, as the Ghislaine Maxwell to my Uncle Dave's Jeffrey Epstein. She was his right-hand man, so to speak, and she was there for it all. Protecting predators, covering up child abuse and deaths, separating children from parents, and helping to build the family-destroying human trafficking cult that it is today. It was my Aunt Shelly who forbade and prevented me from communicating with my parents as a child. It was she who kept me separated from them. And when I wanted to leave, it was Shelly who ordered someone to be posted outside of my door day and night to make sure that I couldn't escape. And she ordered hours of interrogations where I was physically restrained from leaving the room, all while she was living in luxury, flying in private planes, with private chefs, with designer clothing, vacationing in the Caribbean, while being waited on hand and foot by teenagers and hobnobbing with Tom Cruise and John Travolta. She's been reported missing, but hundreds of Scientology workers live at secret bases, isolated from the world. My Aunt Shelly works at a base near Lake Arrowhead. She's reportedly been seen visiting the chiropractor, going out to the movies, going out to eat Italian food. These are all privileges far beyond what I or other Scientology workers ever had. I really appreciate everyone who asks, where is Shelly? She might be isolated from the world, but so are so many others who weren't right there building a criminal organization and abusing children alongside my Uncle Dave. They won't have a celebrity asking after them because nobody even knows who they are. I believe stopping new people from joining is the best way to throttle Scientology's efforts. People like Asmithlevin, Streets LA, and Jessica Palmadessa are getting the word out about Scientology every day. Please follow and support them so we can keep shining a light on this and prevent more people from getting sucked into this dangerous cult.
All right, there you go. That is absolutely fantastic. And for anyone who is also maybe not yet familiar, this is Jenna Miscavige's book that she wrote, Beyond Belief, My Secret Life Inside Scientology, and My Harrowing Escape is the entire title. And actually, many people may not know this. Other than Leah Remini's book, this is the best-selling book by an ex-Scientologist ever. Isn't that incredible? Okay, so let me make sure I've got my screen shares set up here. We've already used that. We've already used that. And okay, good. One more time. This is the channel we're about to watch a clip from. And I've already got it queued up. Audio should be good. We're going to switch views. All right, let's check this out.
Everybody always is asking, especially the last several years,
Mhm.
where is Shelly?
Right.
Give proof of life. Let us know that you're okay. To your knowledge, and I know that there has been mention of some sightings of her in Arrowhead here in California, going to the hairdresser, doing things like that.
Right.
Based on like your experience and any knowledge you have in the family,
Mhm.
when is the last time that someone spoke to Shelly?
I believe it was when her father died in 2007.
So, okay. And
his
the last
funeral.
time that a confirmed sighting has happened, when was that?
In the family,
Yeah.
I don't know because we're not all in touch with each other. People in the family have to stay away from me in order to be in touch with other people
Okay.
in the family.
So nobody like speaks under the radar or anything. You don't have to say if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But I am in touch with people who, like, the thing is that, like, I get my information from a source that I completely trust, but in order to basically give other people peace of mind, I would have to tell them everything, but that's not good
Mhm.
in order to keep this source there and knowing that they can tell
Of
me
course.
things.
I
So
understand.
yeah. But it is somebody who, like, I absolutely believe them.
Mhm.
And yeah.
Do you think that your Aunt Shelly is still involved in Scientology, or do you think that she has tried breaking away and that's why she's not seen or heard from?
She's absolutely still involved in Scientology. I mean, the base that she is at, where she works, it's basically what they do is they put Scientology scripture onto these titanium plates so that Scientology scripture can survive a nuclear holocaust. So she works at that base, which is a very high level base.
But I guess my question is, do we know she's even still at that base if nobody has seen her?
Well, nobody outside of, so people have seen her.
When's the last time somebody saw her? Like people
This
on
year?
the base, you mean, are seeing her?
Sorry, I'm just like,
No, that's
thinking-
okay. That's okay.
I mean, could we just, like, this is between you and me?
Yeah, we'll
Right,
talk. We'll
well-
talk after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. But I'm not sure how to answer your question without.
You don't have to.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
yeah, we'll just talk after.
So
So
people,
she's still very much involved. She is okay.
Yes,
She's
yes.
healthy. She's a willing participant.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I want to touch on this too, because here's my question with that, I guess, too, is, and I don't know if you have the answer to this, but with so much public speculation out there of
Mhm.
where's Shelly? David, tell us where Shelly is. What'd you do to her? Did she try to leave? If she is a willing participant and
Mhm.
if she is still there and is being seen on the base regularly, why not just, it's giving Scientology a bad rap and bad press,
Right.
which they obviously are hyper focused on.
Right.
So why wouldn't she just come forward and say, hey, I'm here. I'm fine. All is good. I'm
Right.
going to, retreat for another 10 years.
Right. Totally. That's a great question. And the answer is, as much as Scientology cares about bad press, they're also extremely petty and vengeful. And they have certain rules in Scientology with how to deal with critics of Scientology. And if they were to bring Shelly forward, in my opinion, I feel like they would be setting a precedent that every time Leah Remini or some other SP critic starts demanding people, that they're going to now have to bring them out and show them. And the truth is that as much as Shelly is missing, there's so many other people who were never involved with any celebrities who would ask where they were. You know, Shelly wasn't really a public Scientologist. She didn't speak at Scientology events. So there's so many other people who are missing in the same way that Shelly is missing, which really they're just members of a cult. So we could start this for every member of Scientology. And so it would be setting a precedent where Scientology now has to do something for someone who they hate, prove them right, Leah Remini. And then they would have to, what if they didn't do that for the next person? Does that mean that they could produce Shelly, but then they couldn't produce this other person? So
that's an interesting take. And I saw too on one of your latest videos, you said Shelly was equally as evil as your Uncle David and would barricade and, you know, hold people, like not trap them. I mean, maybe I don't want to put words in your mouth. And to where I then saw your comment section kind of flood with like, oh, instead of like save Shelly, where's Shelly? We're now saying like she's a part of this.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's hard to say like I don't think Shelly's as evil as my uncle, but at this point, like, what does it matter? Like she was his right hand woman this entire time, from the beginning of when he became the leader up until like, I guess 2005, but still that's the entire time I was there.
Yeah.
You know, at that time, children were still being trained in these boarding schools. SA was being covered up in these boarding schools. Adults who committed the SA were being sent to the RPF, like the Rehabilitation Project Force, and none of this was reported. So she was a part of everything my uncle did. Everybody there who worked with them knows that this is true.
Yeah.
She was his right-hand person, knew of everything, and was directly involved in my treatment the entire time. It was Shelly who said, "You may not call your parents."
Oh my gosh.
It was Shelly who ordered me to get these interrogations and who ordered someone to stand outside my door all the time in case I tried to escape. So it's hard. Like, she also grew up there. So did my parents. So did my uncle. But at some point, it's like, yes, we all grew up there. It was all horrible, but you have to be responsible for the choices you make in your life, especially if they're illegal.
Yes, absolutely. And when children are involved, it's like all the gloves are off. Like, it's time to like figure it out, be an adult, and to your point, be responsible for your actions.
Exactly. Even if you were once a child there, you know, unfortunately, many abusers were also abused. And that's the sad part of the story. And I can have empathy for Shelly because of that. But when she stops being a part of it, you know, that's when, you know, and this is like on a whole other scale. I mean, this is a whole systemic organization that is doing these things all day, every day.
Oh my gosh, it's awful. It's awful. So I want to just then, leave off with a simple question, which I think I know the answer to. As David Miscavige's niece, do you believe Scientology is a cult?
Yes, Scientology is definitely a cult. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being here today and for speaking with me. Is there anything else that you feel like you want people to know?
No, I mean, I think we covered so much, but I am really grateful for all of the outpouring of support that I get, people who are willing to share my story. I'm really thankful to you, and just so many people like, I don't know if you've heard of Streets LA, but he's out there. Like, I see him actively stopping kids from going into being recruited by Scientology, or Jessica Palmadessa or Aaron Smith-Levin actively spreading the word about Scientology. Like, it just means so much to me. When I imagine myself as a kid in there, like, I just wish that these people were around.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, I just want to say thank you to you, and thanks to everyone else who's sharing my story.
Thank you. All right.
There we go. I thought that was an amazing way to answer the question about Shelly. And no matter how many times this gets discussed, no matter by whom, whether it's, even if Jenna were to do 100 videos about this, about the true nature of the situation with Shelly, who she really was, what she really did, where she really is, that she's still in Scientology. She wants to be there. She's been seen a whole bunch lately. And she could do 100 videos about that. The number one question people will have about Scientology is, where's Shelly? And I think that is great. I think that is totally fine. And me continuing to highlight all the instances where people ask Jenna about this and she answers this question is not even an effort to get people to stop asking where's Shelly. I think the fact that David Miscavige refuses to produce a photo or some official or even non-official photo or video of his wife, and it allows the world to continue believing that the leader of Scientology's wife is being held in a dungeon under a mountain somewhere, is hilarious to me. And it's one of the reasons I do so many videos about it. It's an amazing way to troll Scientology. It's an amazing way to troll David Miscavige. The fact that David Miscavige wasn't able to use the so-called technology of Scientology to resolve his upset with his wife so that he could continue to have her on her post as his assistant is just, it's just like, if Scientology doesn't work for David Miscavige, then it doesn't work for anyone, and really that's only a point that would be important to people who are still in Scientology or under the radar, right? Because no one else thinks that Scientology is a thing or works or cares about that. But it's like, if it's able to get shoved into the faces of people who are still in Scientology, that Scientology destroyed, L. Ron Hubbard's family life, destroyed David Miscavige's family life, Tom Cruise's family life. If Scientology can't work for those people, who the heck is it supposed to work for? And again, I realize a lot of the times, especially when I do these videos live, and the people that I'm interacting with are the most active members of my live chat. The people who are here with me right now have already heard this message a million times. So these videos are really done for all the hopefully hundreds of thousands or hopefully millions of people who've never heard this discussed before, have never seen one of my videos before, have never seen one of Jenna's videos before, and continuing to get that message out so that people really understand the true nature of it. It's just why it's not a one and done thing. So, for those who haven't already heard this a million times, at one point in this interview, Jenna said the phrase, Shelly wasn't a public Scientologist. And what she meant there was Shelly wasn't a Sea Org member who was ever known to the public. She was not one of the high-level Scientology international managers who would publicly address all Scientologists in the world 6 times a year from stage. She was not someone who was ever introduced to all the Scientologists in the world. Even before Shelly was taken off her post and sent away to work at the secret base in Twin Peaks, California. Even before that, 99.9% of Scientologists would have never heard the name Shelly Miscavige, seen a photo of her, been able to pick her out of a lineup. If they ran into her in a hallway, they would have no idea who she was. People don't really know that, right? And so one of the phrases that Jenna uses to describe this that I think it's just so perfect is, well, she's not missing, she's in a cult. And it's oh my God, that phrase says so much by only saying so little. You're like, well, what does that mean? You're like, well, she's not any more missing than any of the other Sea Org members who work for the Scientology cult that are kept in relative isolation, live and work in relative isolation on these bases that within Scientology, their locations are secret. They're either all missing or none of them are missing. And the truth is, the way Jenna puts it, kind of splits the difference there. They're not, it's not that they're missing, it's that they're in a cult. The reason, no one easily interacts with Shelly is because she's in a cult. And that's why it's also true for hundreds and hundreds of other people who work at not only at the CST basis, but at Scientology's international management base, just in Gilman Hot Springs, California. those people do not have freedom of motion and action. Those people cannot come and go at will. Those people cannot take time off. Those people cannot take vacations. And one of the points that Jenna made that I loved was, first of all, most of those people will never have anybody asking of them because no one knows who they are. That's a powerful point. And then a separate point, there are also a handful of those people who actually were famous, publicly known, high-level senior Scientology managers. And those people, you could make an argument, have actually disappeared from the perspective of public Scientologists in the world. You used to see them 6 times a year on stage with tuxedos being introduced as the highest level executives in Scientology, and then poof, gone. Guillaume Leserve, Executive Director International, gone. Mark Yeager, COCMO International, gone. Ray Midoff, Senior Case Supervisor International, gone. Heber Jensch, President of the Church of Scientology International, gone. Scientologists haven't seen these folks in 15 years. No one's reporting them missing. Why? Because they're not missing. They're in a cult. And I think it's great. And so even the question, where's Shelly? Even if she's not actually missing, according to the true meaning of the word, it's almost like the question, where's Shelly, is like, in that question is reflected the problematic nature of being in a cult. You know, Shelly isn't even allowed to make her own choice as to whether she wants to be like, hey guys, I keep hearing, this thing, people think I'm missing, I'm fine. Jenna gave a really great description, a really great explanation for why she thinks David Miscavige doesn't bother putting out any photos or video of Shelly just to keep people to stop asking where's Shelly. I think that explanation is absolutely perfect. I think it is also true that that decision not to do that is David Miscavige's decision. I think most people would agree. It's actually, Shelly's not actually allowed to make that decision for herself. Yet another example of what it means to be in a cult. So as long as Dave refuses to show what people would consider to be proof of life, the question, where's Shelly, will keep getting asked. And I say, rightfully so. Okay, let's see. It's 8 o'clock. I've got another video or two I actually want to get done tonight, and I think I actually just might be able to do that. So thank you for hanging out with me so far, you guys. Stay tuned. More to come. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.